Hey y'all, it's Wilson Maniac here. When I buy a game, do I want the full game? No! I want it to be like bread, but a very special type of bread, because you have to buy each slice separately.
DLC, or downloadable content if you're a nerd.
Oh, I'm not a nerd, I'll prove it. See?
DLC is something that game companies make when they still want to support their games, but they also still want to make money, so sometimes just updates don't work. DLC can actually be really good. Sometimes it can add new weapons, new levels, and new characters, and more.
This sounds like a win-win! How could they this up?
Remember, this is the same industry that sells virtual weapon skins for going up to $2,000.
Well, I guess I'm not paying rent this month.
Here's the big issue with DLC, how much of it was actually made after the game came out, compared to them just taking it out of the game to sell separately as DLC.
AKA, just day one DLC.
I'll talk about day one DLC later, for now let's just talk about regular DLC. When I think of DLC, a few come to mind, the first one being Postal 2 Paradise Lost. Postal 2 Paradise Lost adds new weapons, a remade version of the regular Postal 2 map, as well as making a new story that continues from Postal 2. I'll talk more about Postal 2 Paradise Lost when I eventually look at Postal 2. Another DLC that comes to mind is Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. This adds a non-canonical zombie theme campaign, 2 new multiplayer modes, and some cosmetic changes to the world and characters. Just like all the Payday 2 DLC, but if I would have to say one of them, it would be the Wolf Pack, which is from Payday the Heist as well. Yes, I did say pick one, because some games have got way too much DLC. Like, come on, just make a new game already.
For some developers like Overkill, Payday 2 DLC was the only way they could make money for a few years, so it made sense. Rockstar has no f***ing excuse.
Rockstar, just from GTA 5, is making $1 billion a year and $15,000 every 10 minutes and $2.5 million per day. At least with Overkill, at least we knew Payday 3 was in development. It took until last year of a leak of GTA 6 for us to see anything. Overkill, at the time when they were making a bunch of Payday 2 DLC, they were barely staying afloat, and the only reason the company is still in business to this day was pretty much just because of Payday 2 DLC. At the time, Overkill was going through a bunch of layoffs, and they were basically bleeding money, so the only way they'd be able to stay in business was making Payday 2 DLC, so it makes sense why they made a bunch of DLC for that game. Here is the issue about DLC, the price. Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare is £6.79. That's good. Postal 2 Paradise Lost is £5. That's great. Payday 2 DLC, it kinda just depends. Is it a map DLC or character DLC?
You see, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna say it's expensive because of inflation, that's because we worked hard on it. But really, it's because we're f***ing dicks.
DLC has made companies realize that they can just keep making sometimes bare bones content for their games, because they know people will buy it, and most developers will say,
it's to support our company, so keep giving us money, f***head.
Well, companies like Rockstar have figured out that yes, if they release GTA 6, they'll make quite a lot of money, but that means people will stop playing GTA 5 and stop spending money on GTA 5. That also means they're not making as much money by selling stuff of GTA 5 anymore. And yes, even though they'll be making more money but they made GTA 6, that also means they're spending a lot of time releasing GTA 6, so if they make DLC, they can make it way faster, meaning that they make all their money back, if not more, by making DLC instead of releasing GTA 6.
But hey, at least they're not taking things out of games to sell separately as DLC, right?
Day 1 DLC is DLC that comes out the same day as the game.
Because DLC didn't f*** me over enough. I want to be f***ed over before I even buy the game.
Day 1 DLC is f***ing stupid. It's literally just taking things out of the game and then selling them separately. The least it could be is good quality DLC, but most of the time it's not even that. Here's a good example, Hello Neighbor 2. They sold day 1 DLC for this game that was broken, and it wasn't even cheap, it was almost £13. It was all broken, and keep in mind here, the game is already £31. Here is another, Sonic Origins came out last year, and not only did this game have confusing on how the hell you're actually meant to buy the game, they sold a bunch of MP3 tracks for almost £4. But not only that, they sold a fun patch, and all it does is give you backgrounds for when you play classic mode, a music player, and character animations for the background for the island, and character animations for the music menu, which is just a bunch of 2D sprites. This DLC is just stupid and not worth it. Day 1 DLC can be good. For instance, Hitman 3 Day 1 DLC with an expansion pass to be able to play Hitman 1 and 2 maps in Hitman 3, but if you already own the games, you were able to get these maps for free.
DLC is just a quick and easy cash grab, there's no other way of saying it, but some can be good, but most of them, they're not. But hey, I wait for the day where I have to buy a DLC to be able to buy the game, but to play the game, I need to buy a DLC just to press the start button. I'll just stick with fucking bread.